India is a great power. India, no, arguably has been a great power for a long time, but now that status, I think, is not contested by any other major state. Now, India is a great power that was not the beneficiary of the setup that was created in the aftermath of World War II, so it doesn't have a seat on the UN Security Council. It's not a formally sanctioned nuclear weapons state under the Non-Proliferation Treaty. So there are things where the international regime has not fully accommodated India's rising status, but India now is at the high table. I think most other states in the international system, including all of the UN Security Council states to some extent, maybe we can talk about China as an outlier, have placed India at the pinnacle of global politics. So whether that's recognized in terms of invitations to the G7 or not, that India's status doesn't necessarily depend anymore on club membership. The problem is there's a split in the great powers, both China with the US as well as with India, and of course, Russia with the US. And when there's a split among the great powers, it's hard for these international organizations that rely on consensus and agreement to make meaningful progress, because those splits manifest in terms of leaders maybe not visiting summits. They manifest in terms of not being able to get written agreements, and the international community needs consensus to move forward. And India, despite its stewardship of the G20 process this year, has sadly had to contend with these great power splits. And like any state, really, India has not been able to overcome the politics of the moment, and will try to do as best as it can. The US-India relationship has been improving for almost 25 years now, and that trajectory has, if anything, accelerated since Prime Minister Modi came to office in 2014. Now, some of that has to do with the international circumstances. Xi Jinping took office before Prime Minister Modi, and most outside commentators, including myself, view that Xi Jinping's China has been more aggressive than the China that was helmed by his predecessors going back into the 80s. And so that's manifested in terms of worsening Sino-Indian relations, notably, with incidents at Doklam in 2017, and of course the Galwan clashes of 2020. And during the Trump period, Modi and Trump were worried about China, and I think that no doubt helped foster a relationship that has many rationales and many drivers, but concerns about a rising aggressive China is a centerpiece of the relationship. India has been the beneficiary of a growing economy, and India, among many other states, has an advantage of having lots of hard currency available to make international arms purchases as it deals with its threat environment. That means that India gets access to the best defense technology the world has to offer. It's not just the United States, but Israel, France, the United Kingdom, European consortia, Russia. They're all at India's door trying to sell India defense hardware that it needs. Now, Narendra Modi would like to make more of that hardware in India, like to have a larger defense industrial base. And so India is trying to convert that external interest into meaningful transfer of technology and co-production within India. But that's hard to do. People like to hold on to those technological crown jewels and are reluctant to give them. But Modi has accelerated the defense partnership in certain places, and has certainly been able to get access to technology that previously might have been hard for India or any other power to get from the United States. So the engine deal is a real move forward. That's been an issue that's been on the agenda for at least 2 decades. The drone deal, if it fructifies, will also be a meaningful acquisition for India. And there are, of course, other drone suppliers, Israel among them, who would be happy to provide India these types of technologies, even if the US might have a lead qualitatively in these areas. So Modi has continued where his predecessors, Manmohan Singh and Vajpayee, begun, and he has carried that mantle forward.